guys, my name is Noni Matikela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about Advocate Ramasipile and what is coming ahead for the next week. It's been great. We know that Advocate Mnisi has closed the case for Umuzi Sibiya, and now on to the next witness and the next accused, which is Bongani Sanderson Danzi, the guy that is apparently the one that broke the case. Because broke it in what way? He brought the substance that the state is hanging on into so that the guys can be arrested. We know that according to Gininda and the state version, the accused are all there because of Ubongani Danzi, because of his so-called confession. And we know that the confession is the one that is going to make or break the state case. Do you understand? Now, what happened was that Umnisi closed the case, and there was nothing else that was going to happen after that, because Umnisi got up and did one thing that changed everything. So he just said, in the circumstances, my lord, I'm therefore closing accused number one's case. And that was it. Just like that, the defense for accused number one was over. So people had a lot of things to say. They were saying some felt it was abrupt, some felt it was reckless, some felt it was unfinished, but legally it was one of the most calculated moves in this trial ever, because something was shifting. Whatever direction it was going, Mnisi needed to make a decision, and Mnisi had a conversation with his client, and they spoke, and then they had an agreement, and that was it. Now we are on accused number two. The moment accused number one's case closed, the courtroom shifted, right? Not gradually, immediately. The air changed also, because what? Are we done now with accused number one? And Advocate Ramasipile, representing accused number two, Bongani Danzi, stood up, and what he said mattered. New witnesses had surfaced. We don't know from what, whether from the evidence that was given in court by the witnesses of accused number two. We are yet to find out. The moment accused number two start calling his witnesses, that's when we will find out. And then consultations were underway across provinces. He spoke about Northwest, Gauteng. There was a lot. I was hoping that there will also be someone from KZN, but we are going to hear about that. I don't know. Now, watch what happened next, because this is where the law speaks quietly. The state did not object. The defense did not object. The court accepted the postponement, because what else could have been done? There was no chaos, no resistance, no panic. That is not disorder. That is procedural balance. And you could see Judge Ratanaye was quite relaxed after the entire drama he did earlier on. Then when Ramasipile spoke, he quite relaxed. The system adjusting itself in real time, that's what we saw. And also we know that Judge Rata knows Ramasipile akawagive ama F. He knows Ramasipile akawagive ama F. Ramasipile is respectful. Ramasipile is quite honest and a man with integrity, as I see him. So Judge Rata knows a thing about two Ramasipile, because Ramasipile can actually call out to Judge Rata, and Judge Rata aswabi. He knows it. So when that happened, I was like, now you know you are going to deal with Ramasipile. And he knows Judge Rata, he's not going to deal with a Ramasipile that was scared, too respectful, shocked by things. You know, he deals with a Ramasipile who also studied him throughout the 3 years. Advanced diploma sana style. Ramasipile has studied to Judge Rata in an advanced diploma style, because he understands him very well. And he understands him when he is destructive. He knows him. He has learned a lot of lessons in that courtroom. And the chapter or the big book was who? Judge Rata himself. I'm not worried about Ramasipile at all. I am not. I am honestly not. And also, I was one of those people who were asking, why didn't Ndanzi start? Don't. And then I sat and realized, actually, they were still going to have a week. Ramasipile did mention he thought they still had 2 more witnesses with accused number one's case. But now, the way things are, he had no Yeah. So I suppose he used this past week uh, consulting with witnesses, also consulting and preparing Ndanzi for the witness box. I believe that's what he did. And I can never say I'm not happy, I'm not proud of him, I'm very proud of him. That was a very good move from uRamsipil. Angavele abeke uNtanzi pha engekho prepared, even if they prepared before, but he needs to also make sure uNtanzi is prepared. I love it. I like how he handled everything. So let's ask only that the question that actually matters. Was everything done for I choose number one enough? Legally possible? Yes. Strategically, that depends entirely on what the state can still salvage from the damage investigation. Emotionally, for the public, absolutely not. But courtrooms are not built to satisfy emotions. They are built to test proof, and Mrs. decision sent one unmistakable message to the bench. We are not here to babysit a broken investigation. He never said it, but everyone heard it. He did not voice it out, but that's what if you mentally okay upstairs, that's what you heard. Okay. Now, that was not the end of the trial. We know this. It was the end of one strategy and the beginning of another battlefield. I choose number two's defense now moves to a center stage, new witnesses, new risks, new contradictions. And Monday is not just a continuation, it's going to be a new phase. And if you think the courtroom tension was high before, you haven't seen anything yet. Because from here on, every move is fatal. Every witness matters. And every silence speaks louder than words. That is what we are going to see in the Senzo Meyiwa trial now. And the stakes are very high because the accused that we are going to be dealing with is the same accused that did the so-called confessions that brought everyone there. He's the same accused. So now it's do or die for accused number two. It's do or die because the worst case scenario for this case is everybody else, all the four accused walking and accused number two sinking. So he needs to make sure he fights for his life. He fights for his dear life because everything depends on it. Whatever happens in that witness box, it depends on it. He needs to fight. He needs to be a man that is going to make sure everything is accordingly. He must not dare drop the ball. And uRamsipile must make sure the witnesses come and break Constable Zungu's testimony apart. He needs people. He needs a lot. He needs a lot. Undanzi, because we need something that is going to remove Undanzi totally from the entire saga. Once Ndanzi is removed, the confession dies. And then once there is no confession of Ndanzi, there is no case. Once there is no confession of Ndanzi, there is no case. So they need to absolutely fight Ndanzi noRamsipile. I don't know about you, but that's where I am standing. Uguti, here comes another high hill. This is Mount Kilimanjaro. It's going to be a Mount Kilimanjaro, and it needs someone who is willing to fight for their life. Because let me tell you, let me break it to you guys. There is a very thin line between Ndanzi walking free and Ndanzi sinking, and others walking free because there is no confession from them. Egamuzi is the police even said it was misleading. So Ndanzi is the only one that is looking at jail time and home time. So in those bases, if the judge is like, okay, there is no evidence that links the accused, but because Ndanzi said that he was there, it was his confession, I accept his confession, that is what they need to fight with. They need to show us Ndanzi was never at the Khumalo house. In fact, they need to show us Ndanzi was never at Gauteng on the 26th of October. They need that proof. What are your thoughts when it comes to that? Let's talk in the comment section. I want to hear your views. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.